FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Examples. We did a story which I think, in terms of web traffic, will be one of our top 5 stories we've done for the past year, if not beyond that. And it was man already knows everything he needs to know about Muslims. And that story got shared, so much, almost as big as the New York story, and I'm sure a lot of you saw, because it connected. It basically spoke to this idea when the mosque was, the Islamic Cultural Center was really hot in the debate. This story just put it out there, like, it doesn't matter. People didn't care about the facts. They didn't care who owned the land. I said no more foreign questions. What is that?
Somebody's rocking some...
Am I being heckled by a ringtone? Is that?
It's Jefferson Starship, I think.
It's amazing. Anyway, that story also trafficked highly in overseas, especially in Arab and Islamic countries, because they saw this news outlet, kind of calling it like it is. And it was a really, straightforward piece. The one that resonated even more in terms of overseas is we did a story called Mexico Killed in Drug War. Like, everybody, just 111 million people dead in a massive shootout. And that story was picked up by most major Mexican media outlets. And they couched it. They said, the satire organization, The Onion in the U.S. is known for doing this and this and this. And they were getting thousands and thousands of comments because there's such a frustration in that country about what's going on there and about America's role in fueling that, because it's our drug demand, which is ultimately the on and off switch for that situation. And that was also covered in the story. So like, we don't see the story, the Mexican story in our news that much. But you can't, you're living in fear down there. You have people, it's pretty horrible. So for a comedy outlet to kind of, again, throw it out there more directly than the media can or is willing to or is able to, has certainly affected international peoples.
One of my favorite things, and this tends to happen at least once a year, is seeing stories about international or in other countries, them misinterpreting your stories as if they're real. Like you did that story about Congress threatens to leave Washington unless they get a new Capitol building.
Right.
Like it's a sports team asking for a new stadium, and China picked it up and took it seriously and used it to like mock the government.
The thing with that story, Congress was demanding a retractable dome on the Capitol, or they would like move the Capitol. And this Chinese business paper, really, upright kind of place in theory, they plagiarized the story. So that was their problem. They plagiarized something that was fake. They didn't understand the concept of satire when they were stealing. And they stole the graphics and everything. So finally it came about, they realized it was false, and they issued a statement saying, well, according to our research, some small American newspapers like to publish lies in order to make money, which was a fairly accurate description of what we do. So I think it was like a win-win weird situation.